All right, Algebra 1. So we're going to try something new today. I am attempting to film a Google Meet video conference, and I'm going to be sharing my iPad screen with you. I'm sure you're going to be seeing Mr. A's face just off to the side there. So I was going to see if this works. We will give it a shot. If you guys are good with this may be helpful in the future, and I just kind of wanted to see how things go. So you get to still see my face. Great. You guys get to see the iPad screen, and yeah, there we go. So we're moving it a little bit. Okay, let's give this whole thing a shot. So one thing I wanted to explain before we jump into the review is that for the last few weeks that we have here, basically I was going to be presenting material at the end of the textbook, and this material for some, I mean, this may be a cakewalk, which is great. You can cash in on some easy problems, but this is also going to be a good review because as you guys transition out of algebra and next year moving into geometry, this is going to be something that is going to be right at the beginning of the school year, just a review of the coordinate plane. Then you guys are going to be working into, shapes and area and all kinds of different stuff like that. And so I thought that might be a good way to end our school year here, is to just do some review of things I know you guys have been exposed to, but also make sure that you guys have it fresh in your head and, next year going into geometry. All right. So these videos will be all based upon problems out of the back of the book. You can see up on the screen there. This is coming out of page 794, a little year in review. I got a nice little graph thing set up because that's where we're starting. This is for the coordinate plane. And again, that's page 794. I'm going to be looking out of my textbook. Please have your textbook open. So if not, you can go ahead and pause the video, get that textbook ready to roll. Also, you can pause the video and copy down these graphs that we have here. And that way, just like normal, you guys will be tracking along with me. And you'll be doing your homework also out of page 794. And then what we will do is proceed through some more problems that are all in the back of the book here. And you guys will have one more little exam, and that exam will cover only material that we cover with this year-end review. Okay, so I just want to make sure that you are aware of that as well. All right, so let's jump into this. Page 794, year-end review. And we got a couple main things just to go over. All right, so the first thing here is that a coordinate is going to be represented by two numbers, right? Two numbers. You're going to be looking at a x value and a y value, because on your coordinate plane, you have a y-axis. That's the axis that goes up and down. And you have an x-axis, and that's the axis that goes left and right, okay? And then the next thing is to make sure that you always know the first number is the x value, okay? So the first number is the x value, and if we were to be given a point such as 2, 3, and they ask you what is the x value, it is 2. And what is the y value? It is 3 in this case. All right. So there you go. There's a little bit, just quick review. I'm sure you guys remember that, but just in case you don't, there we go. All right. The next thing is I want to make sure that you guys know what quadrants are in a coordinate plane. And a quadrant is basically a whole chunk. This is one quadrant, just so happens to be quadrant 1. This is another entire quadrant. This is quadrant 2. This is another quadrant, quadrant 3. And right here, the last quadrant is quadrant 4. Okay, so just make sure that you guys know there are 4 quadrants And you may have picked up that this is a counterclockwise numbering system. So we start with 1 in the upper right, but then you'll notice we go counterclockwise, so the opposite direction that a clock goes. Okay, so there's that. Make sure you guys copy all of that down. I'm going to have to erase a little bit here. So this will save me some time. All right, so make sure you guys don't erase. You guys can go ahead and leave that in there if you would like. But if not, you can add that onto another whole page of notes. All right, so let's move into what if you are given a point. And by given a point, I'm talking about this graph right here. What if you are saying, here's A, here's B, here's C, but they don't know what is the actual point of A and B and C. Where is that on the graph? And so what you always know now is that the X value goes first. So you are going to start by either counting to the right or counting to the left. If you move to the right, this is a positive number. And if you move to the left, this is a negative number. Okay? After you've moved to the right or to the left, then you're going to look either do I go up or do I go down? And if you go up, that is a positive number. And if you go down, that is a negative number. Okay? So up or down is Y. Y, we either go up, positive, or down, negative. And X, we either go to the right, which is positive, or we go left, which is negative. Okay? All right, so now let's take a look and figure out what is the value of point A. So if we can, let's see, there we go. Let's zoom in here. Okay? So if we zoom in and we see where A is, you have to move to the left first. So remember, left is negative. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3 times to the left, and you'll see we are directly above the point. And then we're going to go 1, 2, 3 times down. So what we are looking at is a value of negative 3, comma, negative 3, because we went to the left, which is negative, and then we are going down, which is also negative. Now let's take a look at point B, and we are going to start by moving to the right. So that is a positive. So we go to the right 1, 2 times. Don't forget your commas. And then we go up, which is also a positive, and we're going up 4 times. So there is a 4. So point B is at 2, 4. Last one that we're going to do here is point C. And point C, if you follow where that dot is, you're moving to the right. We're trying to figure out how many times are we moving to the right. We are moving to the right 8 times. So the first thing we're going to put here is a positive 8, comma, and then we're going down, meaning negative. And where do we go down? Looks like a negative 6 lines up perfectly. So negative 6. All right. So 8, comma, negative 6 for point C. All right. That's the first thing we're looking at here, is to make sure if you are given a point, where does it lie on the coordinate plane? The last thing we're going to discuss is what if they actually give you the numbers and they're going to say, now plot the point. Okay, so we're going to plot E, and the first thing we do for E is we got to go 3, 2. Remember, the 3 is in the X place, and the X goes to the right or the left. 3 is a positive, so we're going to go to the right 3 times. 1, 2, 3 times. And then don't put a dot yet, because we're not done. All we've done is half of what was asked. Now we got to go 2, and it's a positive 2, so go up 2, 1, 2, and you are right there for E. All right, so again, we went to the right 3 times, we went up 2. Let's do F here. That's a negative 1, so a left 1 time, and then a positive 5, and then an up 5. So we are right there for point F. Remember, do not go left 1 and then put a dot, and then go up 5 and then put a dot, because really those two numbers are the points of just 1 point. All right, or it's the numbers that go to just 1 point. Last one here, we're looking at point G. The x value is 3, so we're going to go 3 times to the right. So that's 1, 2, 3 times to the right. -3, meaning 1, 2, 3 times down, and we are right there, and that would be for point G. All right, so let's make sure that we are following along, and that pretty much covers all the info you guys are going to need for the first little review on the coordinate plane. Again, we are making sure that we are all following along in the book, and we'll kind of zoom out here just to make sure that you guys see the page one last time. And hopefully this worked out well, and we will give it a shot also on our next video. All right, miss you guys. Hope you're doing good, and we'll see you next time.